Open your hearts, loosen your butts and their holes. It's time for couples therapy.
Yeah, this podcast is Andy and Naomi's, where they can both laugh and hang with all their homies, talking excellent vacationing with brunches and cuddling, to messy situationships and conscious and coupling, from Netflix hookups to singledom with some Hulu, text, sex, regrets, or feeling on your new jubu. They gon' talk about it, yeah, you are invited, needing therapy, I guarantee, baby, we got it.
It's couples therapy. Couples therapy.
Welcome to Couples Therapy. My name is Andy.
And I am Naomi,
And we are a real life couple.
a real life couple of comedians.
And on Couples Therapy, in quarantine, we answer a couple of advice questions from a couple of different listeners. We went old school, new school with the intro today, Naomi.
Yeah, I thought that was fun, funky, fresh.
Did not have time to look up a listener-written intro, a new one.
It's
How is
okay.
everyone? What's going on? Anxiety? Is that where you're all living?
Are you doing ASMR? Why are you being like spooky whispery?
Hey, it was just Halloween. Or it is gonna be Halloween.
It's gonna be Halloween. What's going on with you, girl?
I'm not sleeping. Are you?
Well, no, but I at least know what day it is. How else do I know how much sleep I'm missing? You know? That's how I do it.
Welcome to today's show, folks. It's a real barn burner.
Ha
If you're Amish, get out of that barn because it's gonna burn.
Burn, baby, burn.
And also, if you have a barn because you own a wedding venue or you're a farmer,
Please let us know if we can get a deal. Would love to get married in a barn in 2022. Just saying. Anyway, this episode is wonderful. It's magical. We've got a fun guest.
who's that guest, Naomi?
Honey, today we are answering your relationship questions with Edebiri. She's an actor. She's a comedian. She's written for Sunnyside. She's written for Big Mouth. She's now the voice of Missy on Big Mouth. It's all happening.
Sorry, Jay Slay.
And we talk to Io when she's in the thick of it. And by thick of it, I mean quarantining in Canada. And we really get into some good stuff.
Yeah, this is good. Io, Io has kind of like an ironic comic persona, so I wasn't sure what to expect going in. She's a real human.
She is a real human. I mean, that's the goal here when we do couples therapy. We want to really just kind of break people open.
Dig down deep into
Yeah.
the crab meat of their soul.
Oh my God, I want that crab meat. I want to suck out the crab meat of their soul. That sounds gross.
I want to just make a note, by the way. We ask our guests to try to, in an attempt to replicate pre-pandemic sound, we do ask our guests if they can record their half. Her audio recording thing, screwed up about 2/3 of the way through. I don't think it's a big difference.
Yes.
Honestly, I just want to. There are some audio files in the audience. There's some people with misphonia. So
Yes. Oh, audio PHILES. I was like, you mean audio files? Files of audio?
it's like
In the audience?
it's like the X Files, but it's just like aliens that invade your ears.
Yes, that makes sense. So yeah, it just sounded a little funky, but overall, obviously, it's a great interview and a great time. So, but quickly before we get to that, a little bit of housekeeping.
Yeah, Naomi. Next Tuesday, we're doing our Twitch show a day early on Election Day
Yes, we are.
as part of Liz Winstead and Abortion Access Front's Vote No Joke.
Yes, 12 hours of shows. And we gonna be one of them hours.
Yeah, at what, 1 p.m. EST? No, 1 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. EST.
Yes, the whole point of Vote No Joke is to make Election Day slightly less stressful. You're gonna see so many great comedians and comedy shows just back to back. If you're waiting in line to vote, if you are realizing that staring at the returns is only going to give you agita, perhaps from noon to midnight, you check out Vote No Joke.
Yeah. We're not fucking around like in 2016 where we're like, got this in the bag, don't have to do anything.
Exactly.
We don't have to be anxious at all.
So if you want to find out everyone else who's doing shows and where to watch, you can go to aafront.org/V as in vote, N as in no, J as in joke. aafront.org at VNJ, baby, to get that information. Also, are we still going to be doing our Twitch show the next day on Wednesday?
No, we're going to, regardless of what happens with the election, we're taking that Wednesday off. But every Wednesday after that, we do our Twitch show at 2 p.m. PST, 5 p.m. EST at twitch.tv/couplestherapypod. Me and Naomi, we do bits, we talk, Naomi does her famous segment, Naomi Hates.
Famous. I mean, honestly, I'm always annoyed about something. I bring you the fresh anger. honestly, just come be a part of group. Come be a part of group. We are honestly getting shirts made. It is a sex neutral cult. Just come hang out with us.
I would say the cult itself. We're creating a cult. Sex negative. No sex stuff, only monetary stuff. You want to join this cult? All you have to do is sign over your entire bank account and all your property.
Right. We do need places for everybody to live in the cult. Come on. Just like.
And you know what? We're going to have an old school. If we actually do make this a cult, folks, we're going to have an old school name, Naomi. It's not going to be like Nixium or QAnon. It's going to be cool, like Heaven's Gate.
Oh, okay. So like a really cool classic name. Yeah. End time, fun time. Is that a fun name for a cult?
We'll workshop it.
Okay, so anyway, we'll get back to you with name TBD. Also, you guys, in general, come on now. You are listening to this, and it is October 27th. Election a little over a week away. Now, you know you can vote early. You know you can drop off a ballot. If you want to avoid long lines on Election Day, go vote now, okay? You can go to iwillvote.com, find out where you can go in your area. Make sure you're registered, honey. If you don't know that by now, you better ask somebody. You need to be registered. But also, vote. Don't come at me like, well, I live in a place that's going to go XYZ direction. The point is down that ballot, baby. You ain't just voting for president. You got to vote for stuff like, school boards.
City council.
Legislature.
Like here in Los Angeles, vote in CD4, voting for Nithya Raman.
Honey, there's so many things that are on this ballot, okay? So you need to suit up and show up. And quite honestly, if you're listening to this and you live in a fancy neighborhood, you probably won't have to wait at all. But if you live in a poorer neighborhood or a brown neighborhood, they might make you wait. And you know how you beat that? You go on and off time. Go this week. Go as soon as you can. Okay? Because if Andy and I, as I said, how many times did I say, I don't have the upper body strength for a race war. If shit goes down, Andy and I will be separated. You won't get couples therapy pod no more. He gonna be in one camp, I'm gonna be in the other. I can't live that way. So I'm gonna need us to all vote. And then we'll take it from there.
What if we're in internment camps, but they're like, hey, you guys can still continue to pod. That would be a real dystopia. You're in internment camps, but everyone's still allowed to podcast.
Oh, good God. Nightmare. Just rows and rows of microphones. Jesus Christ.
Get on there and riff. Riff with Scott Aukerman. Do it.
So the point is vote. If you don't vote, you're not allowed to listen to the pod anymore. That's just a fact.
Yeah,
I will be checking in. I will be, reaching out to each individual person who downloads.
Yeah, the truth is there is unprecedented voter suppression going on. And the only way at this point, after the election, let's organize and pass some laws to stop that voter suppression from happening. But right now, the only way to do it is to overwhelm the bastards.
Yes, so many votes that they can't say, oh, we didn't get any votes. No, show up and vote. That's the only thing you can control in this whole mixed up, crazy world, honey. And the fact is, we may not even know our answer November 3rd, okay? But the point is, everyone's going to vote, and every vote is going to count and be counted. So do it. I'm done telling you what to do, but as you can tell, I'm heated as fuck. So you best vote. Now, let's have some fun and listen to Ayo.
Roll it.
These young girls today, Andrew, they're booking and hooking. And
right before we started, we found out Ayo's in Vancouver playing the black best friend of a white woman using
Naomi's face.
Naomi's.
Ayo is literally 17. And the way she comes out here, undermining the years of labor.
Maybe you should have gone to Tisch instead of Wesleyan, Naomi. Did you ever think about that?
Wait, did you go to Tisch?
Ooh, I didn't go to
Fuck,
Tisch.
that's a
See?
network. That's a network. Yeah,
I
the
didn't
Wesleyan
go to
network
Tisch.
wasn't bad, but it's definitely no Tisch network. It's no Tisch network.
I know what the Tisch people are. I worked at NYU in the development department. I looked in their database to see all the famous people. Adam Sandler is an NYU. Yeah, what is this a Sandler production? Is this a Happy Madison production?
This is a Happy Madison favor. Let's say there are some bodies buried. And
Wow. Oh my goodness. So how long are you going to be away?
Like 6 to 8 weeks, I think.
Wow. And
Yeah,
they don't
maybe.
really have cocoa there, right? Like you can kind of move around freely.
No, the opposite. I am quarantining real sirs. Real sirs I'm quarantining.
okay.
I cannot leave this hotel room. There's a door and it's locked.
Wow.
They were like, here's a key, but we changed it. So if you leave, you can't get in. And I said, well, why'd you give me a key? You didn't have to give me a key. It just feels mean at that point. So I'm just here for like one more week, and then I can kind of go out. But even still, there's like been a few cases that have popped up. I think because they were like, we trust people, and and then people brought the cove around again.
Yeah.
So now I think they're being strict again, which is good. Which is good. I got nothing bad to say about the Canadian government. I've got only positive things to say, because who knows what's going to be happening. So I might have to stick around here.
What about the
I might have to
Right.
stick around here.
what about the Prime Minister
That's
who
November.
enjoys certain kinds of Halloween costumes?
I was actually at those parties with him, and I thought it was so funny. I put him up to it.
It was a dare. It was a dare for you.
It is so crazy to be publicly addicted to doing blackface, and like there's no good politicians left. So everyone's just like, we'll talk about it later.
Right,
man.
right.
We'll put a pin in that.
Right.
Publicly addicted.
Yeah.
Publicly
Fully
addicted. Ted Danson.
Oh my God, yes.
Wait, here's my theory. I want to throw this at
I
you.
love when he throws the theory out.
If you are now, Io, you are kind of like the combo of
Yes.
me and Naomi. And I'm a weird white. Naomi's a dynamic woman of color.
Thank you so
And
much.
If you are,
And I am a weird woman
yes,
of color.
if you are a genuine weirdo,
Thank you.
I think you need, and you're in this business. As I found out, this business is more business than anything else. You need to have connections.
That's a word.
Because if you are do you have a business mind, or are
I
you?
think she has a business mind. She
Are you
books.
well? I don't know.
She's
'cause
17 and she books.
Joe Firestone, our good friend Joe Firestone, a genuine weirdo, does
Yeah.
well in this
Yeah,
business.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think she does well
Yeah.
because she has managers and agents and people that.
I think she's also a workaholic.
You think so?
Like Joe is weird, but she likes to just make
Yeah.
shit, and so she's constantly like, "What's my next show?" And I think if you
Aha.
just
Yeah.
generate.
What is your
I
secret?
think for
Yeah, what's
me,
you?
I think for me, it's a combo of truly honestly being addicted to work and what is the word? Not assigning, but conflating my sense of self with if I'm working or not. Because I have really serious parents and family, and they all are really serious people. And so if I'm the artistic cousin who's coming around and is just I'm just sort of feeling things out, I'm a humiliation to the family.
yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of like that, and if things go badly, no, my parents are not helping me out. So
Aha.
I feel like
Yeah, but
if
still,
that
let's
is a
go
business
back.
mind.
How old are you? 24, right? But have you but I'm saying you graduated college and you got professional work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was interning and PAing while I was still at school, and I was studying to be a teacher first, and then I changed my major in the middle of.
So even less time is what you're
College?
telling me.
No. But I think I put pressure. I put pressure on myself because I didn't I felt because I knew so little in comparison to everybody who is doing art and grew up in New York, and so they have seen thousands of movies, and my parents. My mom was not even letting me read the Harry Potter books. It was that serious. We
Wow.
were very, very,
religious?
very
Because, okay, yeah,
Christian.
she thought it was wicked. Yeah.
Or she knew that
Yeah,
J.K. Rowling was a turf.
She knew that actually, and she's really. And my mom's very progressive in that way. With rules. She said something's a little bit off about this. She said, "Why is the only sort of Jewish characters in the books little bank goblins? Why is the Irish boy blowing things up?" Helen said, and I said, "Okay, good eye." But yeah, I don't know. I think I just felt I had to overcompensate, so I just was really eager to work and do all that type of stuff. And then I think I just kind of I went crazy. I made a promise to my parents where I was I'll be able to earn money off of this in 2 years, and if I don't, then I'll go back to teaching. And then by the end of the 2 years, I had gotten a job on the Rundown as a writer's
I made
assistant.
promises to myself.
I don't know.
I know. I'm just saying
had
it.
to-
Now I'm just like
No.
making it uncomfortable. But I feel like Io's going with it, so I feel like I'm just having fun.
Oh, and my dad is the WB Frog, so that also
Okay.
helps.
Wait,
with getting
you
a lot of
come from
jobs.
Michigan J. Frog royalty?
Yeah,
Michigan
my
J.
dad's the WB
Michigan
Frog.
J.
I
Frog
should-
running. There it is.
Yeah, I thought B Frog was a little bit too. Something sounded a little bit off about it, so I changed my name to sound more.
Right.
Right.
Because that's what Hollywood's into now.
That's what. Yeah, I'm just running with this Nigerian
Yeah.
thing. I said, yeah, you like those guys, right? Yeah, sure.
Io, get in here.
Yeah,
You
whatever.
didn't clean your room.
That's a good frog. That's a good frog, Dad.
Oh, I'm getting homesick. Dang, I'm getting homesick.
Well,
I
what'd you
don't
do
know.
with my
I think
top
I'm so
hat?
crazy.
So you said, your family's like super Christian.
Wait, where are you
Yeah.
from?
Boston.
I'm from Boston.
Boston,
Oh.
famously from Boston, which I always think is
Yeah.
psychotic every time I hear it.
Thank you very much. I know people. I've gotten like mixed reviews on me saying I'm from Boston.
What do you mean?
Where people go, you don't really seem like you're from Boston. Somebody went, Sam J. I know that's a black person from Boston. You? I don't know. And I was like, what is that? What is that supposed to be? Also, to me, famously, not famous to anybody, not even famous in any regard, but to me, this is a famous story because I've thought about it. So I opened it by saying famously.
Yeah, that's what I do.
In-
That's why I say famously, because it's something I think about and say all the time.
all the time, so it must be famous to everybody. But in the Boston.com article that was like the Missy announcement, it was like Milton native Jenny Slate, and then it was just like Io Edebiri, and I was like, okay, well,
Wow!
Okay.
Wow!
all right, no worries, all cool over here. I'm fine, guys. Just a Dorchester native. That's actually Boston.
Wow!
Chill.
You were erased from the Boston narrative.
I was erased.
Well, that's the racism of
swiftly.
Boston. Like, they don't want to admit a
I
black
guess.
person is thriving.
I'm gonna work through it. I'm gonna work through it, and something will correct itself about
Maybe
it.
you
I don't
should have
know.
gone to Harvard.
All right, okay. Maybe another secret of my success. You know, when I was a kid, I had a prophet came to our church and prophesied over me. Now maybe that's it. Maybe you should have just had that.
And
happen
did
when
they?
you were
Was the
younger.
prophecy she's going to book and hook?
I can't say. I still am really superstitious about what
Oh, really?
the exact words are because some of it is coming true.
What?
I think.
Okay, see, and
Hold on.
this is why I should have been connected to my Nigerian daddy, because I could have gotten a
I'm
prophet,
sorry.
but he had to go and
Yeah.
leave me. And then all I was left with is Detroit, and they don't have prophets telling
They
you
don't have
anything good in
prophets like
Detroit.
that
In
there.
Detroit, they saying don't make a baby. That's the prophecy. That's at best. I should have been hanging out. See, I should have got my grandma. My grandma's a pastor in Nigeria. Maybe
Her
she could hook me
grandma
up.
sends her
that's-
texts that are like, what do they say? Stuff like,
She's like, you are your father's vim and vigor, his first and only, even though
They're
very
like
much have
lo-
other
No, that's
siblings.
so. My grandmother will text me like cold and be like, "You will always be the head and not the tail." You, yeah. You just go, "Thank you."
I'm like, but then it was so funny because she gives me this whole thing and like she loves to fuck with caps, all caps. And then at the end, she goes, and she doesn't know Andy, she hasn't met him or whatever, and I think it's just
Right.
and then she goes, how is the Jubu, Mr. Berkerman? And I was like, oh my God, it's gotten to Nigeria. Jubu's gotten to
listening.
Nigeria.
I love that. That's
She
nice.
got the info.
that's
She got
good.
the
She started out
That's
saying,
nice.
how's the white devil? And then now
And-
it's just Jubu.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. She's
And now it's
yeah.
you. That's very good progress, Andy. That's really good progress.
Wait, sorry. I need to go back to the prophet for a second.
Okay, I mean, I don't know if it's that interesting.
By that I mean the
sort of
book.
drop that.
By Gibran, is that his name? Anyway, so so wait, what is this evangelical? What?
Yeah, I grew up Pentecostal.
Oh, so like snake handling kind of stuff, speaking in tongues.
No, that's like the white version
Ah.
of it. But I think like black and like Caribbean Pentecostals are like very intense, like rules wise. So it's like only skirts, don't drink, don't swear, women don't whistle. That's in the Bible.
Don't whistle?
Yeah, there's like
Interesting.
a verse that's like
Yeah.
in St. Peter, First Peter or something. Peter. But yeah, like very strict and very about like speaking in tongues and the gifts of the Spirit. A lot of music, long church services, spending a whole Sunday there. Sometimes a Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. You know.
Woo!
Saturdays if you're cleaning the church and mom is doing choir rehearsal. It's a whole
It's
affair.
a lifestyle.
It's a
Okay,
whole
so you were in
thing,
with
yeah.
Jesus. That's also another way you book. Just getting in with a higher power.
For
I'm
sure.
gonna keep this through the whole.
Do you mean that?
interview
Wait,
anyway.
I know you're joking, but in a sense, do you mean that as a as like a divine power is coming down to you, or do you mean that like you get to network with?
Why not both?
No, I don't know. I noticed that like even if you're not still religious, meaning like adhering the way you did growing up, I noticed people who did
Yeah.
grow up religion tend to have a little more.
There's a little oomph to it.
But like a little more, not confidence. Confidence might be the wrong word because Lord knows religion can break you down. But there is something
Oh,
about
yes.
growing up in a system that says you are taken care of that I think can help people. Because it's like,
Yeah.
because kind of like, okay, no matter what happens, you kind of have that undercurrent of knowing I don't run the show. There's something else.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Like if that.
And
kind
I
of
think
impacts you.
there's an aspect too of like there's things that you're meant to like do and like ways that you're meant to like serve, and they can like, and like some of them, I don't know, it is this weird thing, right, of like your destiny is ordained, but also it could change at any moment. So you just kind of have to be like, yeah, God could snatch this away from me or any of us, be barely religious anymore, and then suddenly I say that sentence and I go, the realest thing I've said. But it could be gone at any second. So it's like, I think this aspect of like you kind of have to go as hard as possible, like while you have it, before you catch yourself in a classic Job situation.
A classic Job.
Oh my Job, let's make some noise.
CJS? A classic Job sitch? Yeah, no.
Classic Job.
Yes, go hard or go home. And the home is
Go hard or
God's
go
bosom.
Job. Okay.
The home is God's bosom.
Well,
Okay.
all right.
It's
yeah.
heaving.
God is a woman, everyone. Oh. She can't operate on us because
Oh my lord.
What a goof troop.
So wait, so what did are you allowed to tell us what the prophet said?
No.
I kind of
She
like
said she
haven't
did.
really said it out
Yeah.
loud, honestly, like in full, and I think that's why it's been continuing to
How
happen.
old were you when the prophet said it?
I was 12.
Wow.
I'll
And
say
so that
other
was like
things that the
5 years
prophet
ago.
said.
And so really like in 5 years for so many things to change.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to apologize for Naomi.
that shocked me. That one really shocked me. That one snuck on by and just looped back around and shocked me. Other things that the prophet said was that he said that this young girl who was like the pride of the church and had like a beautiful voice and was singing, he was like, if you don't be careful, you're going to like have like a mighty fall. And then a few years later she started having sex and then she had a baby, premarital, of course. Then another girl, he was like, you don't believe. And she was like, whatever. And then also she had a baby.
Wait a minute. I'm starting to think maybe
Yes.
this prophet was hooking up with some people. Because you can't be up in here telling everybody they having a mighty fall.
You're going to have a baby. You're going to have a baby. You're going to have a baby.
He looked at me and he was like, you're not going to have a baby. That's the big prophecy that I'm afraid of telling everybody. He said that I wasn't going to have a baby because I had knobby knees. Wait a minute. Yeah, and then he told this other boy who was like really quiet and had a stutter that he was gonna like be a pastor. Maybe he was just like saying like encourage like things, and then they came true because all of us were young preteens obsessed with church, and so if a prophet said something, we were gonna do it.
Well, that's kind of good. I mean, if he said something good. But so like when you said the preteens obsessed with church, so were you into it? Even when you were okay, you weren't just like, fine, I'll go. Okay.
No, I was like so into it, and I really like my dad didn't really go to church, so it was my mom more, and it was like to the point where I was like I would come after church and I would be like, imagine you're my dad, you're this old Nigerian man, you're miserable, you resent being alive, and all you do is toil, work, and then your child comes down to you after a Sunday afternoon while you're working, and your child goes, you are going to hell if you do not come to church. We are going to die at any moment, and I just want to see you in heaven with me and mom. And you go, okay, sweetie.
Oh my God.
I was like, yeah, I was really into it. I had friends like later, because around like the time that I was about to leave high school is when I kind of was like chilling out more. And I had a friend who was like, hey, by the way, I'm gay. And I was like, oh, why didn't you tell me? And she was like, why didn't I tell you? And I said, okay, that's points were made. Yeah.
And so that kind of taught you. You were like, oh, maybe I'm coming in hot?
Yeah, maybe I'm going a little bit too hard on this thing. But, like, and this is my trauma. I started doing improv in high school. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everything actually comes at a price, Naomi. But I started doing improv in high school, and, like, all my friends on the team were, like weirdos. Like, that's who's attracted to doing improv, especially in high school. And I felt like, oh, wait, these people who I know are good people who are, like, actually helping me sound like myself and have fun. I'm supposed to think that they're bad just because, like, one of them is Jewish. And, like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right to me. So I feel like that's when I started, like, questioning things more. And I had already gotten my prophecy at that point.
Right, so you were like, I'm good. I'm good.
And the prophecy, you're not going to have a child, and that's why you went into improv. You're like, this'll do it. This will make me untouchable by whoever I find attractive.
But so when you got to New York, though, was there anything about New York kind of growing up, in this don't drink, don't all that kind of stuff, like, did your mom not want you to go? Did you kind of get there and think, oh my God, I'm surrounded by heathens?
Yeah, how'd you convince them to like let you go to NYU?
I think I was like, I'll just find a church and don't worry, it'll be fine. And that noise, oof. I was like, I'll find a church, and I mean, honestly, like myself, I had so much. Well, it was like a combo of a lot of anxiety that there was stuff that I didn't really want to do, even like when I saw people getting really drunk, I was like, this looks messy. But by my senior year, I had friends, and I would go to a party and I would have a little drink and have a little smoke. And so like I think I had I was getting kind of loose my senior year.
I didn't do anything in high school. So
yeah,
I was like,
me neither.
It wasn't until I got to college, and then it wasn't really until junior year of college that I actually drank.
I stole a bunch of sporks from Taco Bell.
Wow. Okay. Danger zone.
Okay. Talk about crazy.
Sporks.
Because I thought spork was a funny word, so I stole, by the way, which is like I got a taco and then took like 10 sporks. And then but I did that a bunch of times. And so there was a big old.
So what'd you do with them though?
There was a big old Batman collector's cup on my shelves filled with sporks, my friend.
With each deep
Yes. And you know what?
Hurts more.
I had a girlfriend in high school.
Yeah, that's like the wild part.
Figure this.
Like if you looked at this,
reconcile those two things.
Who do you think lost their virginity first, Io?
No, I think it's always no offense, Andy, but I do think there's always it's always people who you're not really looking out for. Like the people in high school where it's like, wait a minute, they're having sex? All right, go off. And I think, Andy, that's sort of your vibe. Were you in like an extracurricular such as band or robotics, computer club, Latin club?
Quiz bowl, science Olympiad. I did
science Olympiad. Yeah. The science and the math kids really be freaking on the low.
Really?
I did debate for because my girlfriend wanted to do the debate club, so I did that for a year and hated it. And I was like, this sucks because you just
surprised because you love to tell people about themselves.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that it's like,
oh my God,
you have to just have a point of view on a thing and argue for that, even if you're like Hitler is great, and then you argue for that. You're like, this sucks. I don't want to argue this.
Oh yeah, okay. So you can you get assigned.
Yeah, you get assigned that position, and I have to be like, well, he had a great mustache. I don't know. Why am I doing this? Please make me stop. I don't want to argue for.
Wait, how long were you with your high school girlfriend?
Ooh, good old year, and then she took off. Wow. She was she was a year older than me, and she was gonna go to college, and instead she shacked up with the guy who ran the very first Pavement fan site.
What? Wow.
Didn't he like give you, or you were like, well, give me those B-sides that he
So
promised
yes.
me?
Now
Like,
remember,
what?
this is before before you could just download anything you wanted off the internet.
How do you know?
He
Yeah,
had
no,
some
of course.
pavement B-sides.
At the time, that's a really big, I think, kind of a get.
Thank you. And he had promised before we split up, and then she went and moved across the state to live with him.
Wow.
By we broke up, I mean she left me.
Yeah, of course.
She had said she had said, "Oh, I have this friend who has like a bunch of pavement B-sides."
Oh, this friend.
Oh, don't we all have a friend who's got a bunch of pavement
Oh
B-sides?
my God, the beginning.
Jesus.
And then after we broke up, I wrote her, and I was like, "Hey, can I still get those cassettes?"
I can't.
Just
I can't imagine.
shameless.
So like, I guess, but at the same time, right? Like that may, in a way though, it's shameless, but also being like, I am so over you. Give me the thing you promised.
me
Like
the-
you weren't even
Yeah.
like having it. You weren't trying to get her back. You were like, give me the thing.
It was a consolation prize.
I can't imagine. Oh my
It
God.
was a
Dang.
consolation prize. Wait, did you date in high school at all?
No, I was so like.
When did you first start dating?
I mean, like, even that is really, that's fuzzy. That's fuzzy, honestly. I'm like dating somebody like seriously for the first time, like ever.
Are?
And yeah, and that happened like before last
So
year,
before quarantine, yeah.
Yeah, that was like the first time. But and I mean, like, starting dating, I think maybe like college, kind of. I was really like not. I did not know what was going on in high school at all. I really like liked people, but I was so weird. So weird. Yeah, and I think like college, and even then I was like, I don't like the way that this seems that it is.
Wait, what do you mean?
You know what I mean?
No.
Like, oh, you don't know what I mean? That collection of words that made no sense. Like, I just did not have any like game, and like I feel like my expectations were for like constant meet cutes and like, you know, just like things that were not based in reality, because I didn't really have much like actual life experience with like romance.
But now you're
stuff.
in a
And I
rom com,
had-
and so it kind of works out that as someone who wanted meet
It
cutes,
really works out.
then like,
Okay. Yeah, I had one boyfriend from the church,
Aw.
and then, and I was like, we dated when I was like 14 or 15, and I was like, I can't wait for this. I'm going to fall in love, and we are going to have church babies. And then, like 2 months later, he was like, so you still haven't kissed me, so I think I'm gonna find another girlfriend. And I was like, that's awesome. That's really cool. I absolutely respect that. And then we broke up.
oh, wow. Like, so now you're saying you're like in a serious relationship now. You know, I think
Yeah.
of you as, especially because I think that NYU, that the age of comedy, right? Because I more know you as a comedian than like a person.
Yeah.
It's all very like ironic and detached, the style. So I'm wondering, like, when it comes to like being in a serious relationship and like, you know, was it hard to kind of like be open, be real,
Yeah,
let
it's
the
horrible. It is absolutely awful. Anytime we have to have like conversations, oh, siren going outside my window. Anytime we have to have like conversations, he'll like point out like, oh, you're not looking at me. Like, hey, like it's okay to say like serious things
Yeah.
or to like be emotional, and I'll be like, let's do bits for 27 hours. That sounds much more that sounds easier. Oh, that sounds easier actually.
I get you.
Yeah. Oh my lord. Yeah, it's horrific. It's
Horrific.
good, but
Horrific is the word she used.
It is. I mean, for me, it was like that, right? Because you're so used to just like goofing with people.
Yeah.
And that's like my
Yeah.
primary. I don't know if this was anything like you, but like my best friend. I mean, now we like talk about real things.
Not when I'm around.
Right.
Not when you're around. Sure. When you're around, we just go, Siri, play Black Flag. And then we keep telling Siri to play different songs.
Literally for 4 hours. Like at one
yes.
point, and like I was the closest I've ever been to a wife in a sitcom. I was like, I'm going to bed, because it was just like they kept asking for different songs. The song wouldn't even finish, Ayo. Okay, it wouldn't finish. They would get like to the chorus and be like, "Now play this."
We just wanted to say this is at my parents' house, and I was an Alexa. Sorry Siri, sorry Apple. It was an Alexa that my parents have, and we just wanted to see if what songs it could play. But anyway, the point is, him and I, ever since
let's talk after this. If you need
Download.
anything, let me know.
ever since we were teenagers, it was just goofs. It was
Yeah.
all goofs.
Yeah.
And then slowly, as we became adults, we're like, oh, we can't just communicate with like Simpsons quotes anymore. We actually have to like
No,
talk
it's
about real things.
shocking.
But
Yeah.
that was primarily how I knew how to like communicate with Josh.
Yeah.
Was goofs and bits.
Yeah.
And so it was tough.
I'm still oh yeah. No, keep going. Sorry.
No, it's tough.
Usually. No, it's tough. That's actually the end of my sentence. So I'm good. Thank you. No, I'm still really good friends with like the guys who I co-ran the improv troupe with. It's really funny now. They are like two of my like I think deeper friendships where when we communicate, it's like very easy to talk about real things and hang out with each other. But I do think because the foundation of our relationship was somehow being able to keep a friendship for like years, exclusively doing bits. Exclusively just like not speaking English to each other, like just somehow psychically or emotionally then like an actual language developed, and now like it's more of those friendships where it's like when we check in with each other we have like very long sprawling conversations about like anything, but even still sometimes some friendships I have like that I made in college like doing comedy, I'm like oh wait, we gotta check in on each other. Yeah, and I think I also was like, oh, this is a good relationship because we can do bits with each other for a very long time, and then it's be like, no, we have to talk to each other.
Wait, so what was there like a thing that happened that you started to emerge from this like bit cocoon, or like what was the impetus to like, because
I think I had to be confronted. I think I had a problem and I had to be confronted. I had to be like, well, these bits are fun, but we can also talk.
Who confronted you?
I mean, I've had many in my life, many loved ones. confront me about things.
Okay.
No, I don't know. No, I think like naturally you just kind of are like, oh wait, I feel like around the same time you're kind of like, we can talk about other things, right? Let's just check in real quick.
So just natural maturing.
It's good.
Just like maturing.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
it wasn't like because
Yeah.
I'm not I feel like by the time we met, it's also not my personality, like you wouldn't get into bits, but because you were doing improv and stuff, that was like the basis of some of those friendships. But I think that,
Yeah.
right? Like, did it kind of coincide with going to therapy, or was it just more as you were like,
oh wow, you know what? Therapy
yeah.
helps. Oh wait, therapy helps.
when did you
Having
start?
to talk to somebody. I started when I was in college.
Okay.
And I think having to talk to somebody who would be like, I'm not going to laugh, is that's a good
That's when you know a joke is good if you get your therapist to laugh.
Oh yeah.
That's when you're like, gotta write that down.
Oh, I was
Use
at the
that
point in
later.
therapy where I was
Yeah.
like, Rebecca,
And
hold
then
on,
you
I gotta
go,
write it down. I gotta write it down,
Yeah.
Rebecca. I was like, keep going.
And I go, oh, it's good that I'm here because in the middle of this conversation, I go, gotta write that down. Yeah. I think I have different relationships though, because like the school that I went to is really like really academically geared. So I think but the friendships that I have left over from that school, some of them are like a little deeper or like they're still fun. But like I think the way that like it's all life. Like you have different friendships with different types of people. Saying nothing groundbreaking, but
No, I love this. I'm gonna be like hot takes from Missy from Big Mouth. That's gonna be the title.
No.
Hot takes.
I only want
Oh my God.
we only want our guests to say like unique or
Yeah,
or
unique, groundbreaking.
yeah. Just like
Never heard this before.
yeah, just like on the edge of either like philosophy or some kind of like very like deep philosophical statement about life that will make everyone kind of listening be like, wow, I think I'm changed. So
Wow, I think I'm changed.
And I think that I'm capable of doing that. So that's good.
Yeah.
gotta be honest, you haven't done it yet today.
Ooh.
Whoa.
He really racks it up.
Okay.
That's like
Challenge extended.
what a nut. I think we should take a break and then get into some advice questions. What do you think?
Let's do it. We'll be right back after this. Hey y'all, breaking into the show very quickly to just give you 3 pieces of information. If you would like to support the show, there are a couple different ways. One of them is our Patreon. Now, Naomi, I love doing this. We just get to like sit on the couch and like really dig in to our feelings.
We dig into our feelings. We dig into our lives. We're really mining our love for content.
Yeah.
If you're into that, you can go to patreon.com/couplestherapypod, and for $5, you get 2 bonus episodes a month and tons more bonus content. The other way you can help us out is buy a little merch. We've got awesome t-shirts, don't we, Andy?
Hey, look, you know me. You know, in my little indie rock heart, all I ever wanted was cool t-shirts. And we finally got them.
Now we got them.
We got them. We got the cool new design of the logo, and we've got Gotta Miss a Bitch t-shirts.
Yes, indeed. And now, if you want to help us out without spending a dime, you know what you can do? Rate the show, subscribe to the show, review the show. Honey, that don't cost no money. Take you 2 minutes. And it really does help us out.
Yeah, if you go to Apple Podcasts and do that, it's actually a huge help to subscribe to the show and rate and review it. So
yeah, and obviously review it positively.
Oh, sure.
Okay,
yeah.
like I'm not asking for like serious feedback. So if you could just, like be supportive, that would be great.
Yeah. Yes, we have voids inside us.
Yeah.
Endless voids that need positive reinforcement.
Absolutely.
All right.
Now let's fill that void by getting back to the show. And we're back. We are coming to you live from Vancouver, Canada, with Edebiri.
Well, one of us
Oh,
is.
Canada, oh, Canada, you are a country.
That was beautiful. That was Britney Spears-esque. That was how you're going to secure your dual citizenship.
I'm showing up. I'm showing up at the
Yes,
border.
I know.
I'm saying, let me stay.
Right.
Let me stay. I've got a song on my
So
heart.
yes, if to get into Canada, you have to be able to do 2 octaves.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Some melisma, and then you
Yes.
can
I
get
mean,
in.
we all need to be learning how to get into Canada at this point, okay? I mean,
very, very
we
much
could go
so.
to Detroit and then drive through.
Right.
That's
What's
what we
that?
could do.
Ontario on the other side.
That's nice.
Is it Ontario?
Windsor?
Windsor is what you drive
Windsor?
through. My grandma would always vote. I mean, not vote.
She would always vote. She would always drive
Yeah,
over to Canada
like-
and vote for prime minister and then come back.
Naomi, that is not a podcast revelation. That is one that stays in the family. That one stays
She
in
would
the family.
gamble in Windsor. She would drive over to Canada and stretch her dollar so she could really have fun gambling.
We did that, but then didn't gamble. We drove to Windsor and was like, oh, I guess I'm not a gambling kind of guy.
No. But also, it's like when she was like 90. I feel like she was never a gambling person, but like she died at 98. So like by the time she hit 90, she was like, honey, fuck it. I'm going to have a cheeseburger and I'm going to gamble in
of
Windsor.
course.
And so that's
Yeah.
why I'm always like, Canada's very close. We should just go over there and just gamble
go
and have a
gamble.
meal. But
Why not?
that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to answer people's relationship questions with the help of someone who has decided that deep conversations and love are horrific. And
But they're also heroic. You know what I'm
heroic
saying?
and horrific.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Honestly, that's the perfect way to describe all relationships.
We get a lot of advice questions sent to us by direct message on Twitter and Instagram. Some people email us, but some people, they leave voicemails.
Oh, that rules.
Exactly, the preferred.
I got a voicemail for you. By the way, if you'd like to leave a voicemail, 323-524-7839. All right, let's handle this person's scandal.
Hi. So I have an advice question for you guys. I'm a cisgendered bisexual Mexican American woman, and my live-in boyfriend of 3 years is a cisgendered heterosexual, half Mexican, half white man. He considers himself to be white, since that's kind of just how he grew up, and he is white passing. During our time together, we've had a lot of different conversations around race, feminism, and LGBTQ plus issues. And he said on multiple occasions that these conversations have opened his eyes to a lot of things that he just simply wasn't seeing or wasn't aware of because of his privilege. And we don't always see 100% eye to eye on things, but overall we have this similar morals and worldviews, and our conversations are always very respectful. One thing, though, that I've had a difficult time that we've had a difficult time understanding each other about is how I choose to consume content. A while back, I decided to make a very conscious effort to be more intentional about consuming content that is inclusive to all genders, races, and sexualities. And I've explained to him that I've had a lifetime of not seeing myself represented in the media, and that I consider it my responsibility to be a patron to the type of content that I want to see more of if I want these programs to continue to air. I'm not against viewing content that centers around a straight white man, but that's generally the type of content my boyfriend consumes, which I think is just because of the nature of his interests. But he views my way of thinking as being exclusive, especially since I'm someone who promotes inclusivity. And I'm not adamant about changing his mind on the matter, but I'm just wondering if there's a better way that I can explain my perspective to give him a little more insight to my point of view. It's not that I want to change his mind. I'm just curious if there's something that I'm not explaining correctly that would make him see my point of view a little bit more. Thanks, guys, so much, and thank you for both for continuing to provide the world with laughs and optimism during these times. Take care. Bye-bye.
Breaking Bad versus Black Lady Sketch Show.
Sons of Anarchy versus Girlfriends. Literally in my head, I was like, Sons of Anarchy versus Sister. That is what it must be.
Sons and sisters. I like that, though. Sons of Anarchy versus Daughters of the Dust. There you go. There you go, baby. There you go, baby.
Gorgeous.
There you go, baby.
Gorgeous.
As your elder, this is what I can lend to you. Okay?
Do you want a prophecy?
It's lent. It's received. It's in my library. It's ready to be read. And I think.
Do you want to prophesize? Do you want the vampire with the soul will become human?
Okay, now you're doing a Buffy prophecy.
This is not
that's not it. I was like, this question was like, what?
Yeah, it's like kind of.
What?
It's weird because it's like if she's already asked him, right, like, or tried to explain to him, like, I'm not being exclusive,
right.
like, and don't you think by you only watching these things that you're doing a version of exclusivity?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if she said that to him and he hasn't listened, and then if she's tried to show it to him and he's like, and it's upsetting, then that's kind of tricky. Because then to me, the only thing would be like, you know, when we have a movie night together, let's watch like Hollywood Shuffle, or let's watch like, you know, I don't know, like something that's like fun. People enjoy things that feature people of color all the time, but it's like, but then when it's spelled out to them, then it's like upsetting.
Yeah.
And not just people of color, queer people, people with disabilities, whatever. You enjoy that stuff all the time. Chadwick Boseman, you know? Like, huh? You enjoy that. He's gorgeous and you enjoy it, so...
don't even get me started on Chadwick. You know I'm so sad. It's just been a dark, dark time this goddamn year. But it's also like, I don't know, the moment... And here, I cannot speak to his experience, and I understand, you know, or not understand, meaning I understand that biracial identity is complicated, right? And it's very informed by, you know, how you grew up and your parent or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the moment she said, like, he was half Mexican, half white, and sees himself as white and is white passing, I thought, well, he doesn't even want to engage with the color in his own life. You know what I mean? Like in his own like person. Mm-hmm. That it's like, okay, stop trying to make him watch, you know, Black Stories on Hulu. You know, Hulu's section of Black Stories, which are just basically slave tales and,
of course,
you know, crooked cops. And it's just like, you know, that it's like, okay, well, it's like, you can't make them. You can't make them.
Yeah. It's so weird. I mean, like, my friend, speaking of my troubled improv past, one of those friends, he's half white and half Puerto Rican, and like his siblings have like dark hair and they all speak Spanish fluently, but he is like blonde and blue-eyed, and so he like identifies as white because he's like, I don't want like his experience in the world has been of a white person. People treat him like a white person, so he's like, I don't want to like take seem like I'm taking people's diversity spots
Oh.
or whatever. Like, if I do have that privilege, like I do have it, so I'm just not gonna go about the world like I'm not. But if people know me, then they know that I still identify with this part
Yeah.
of my heritage. So I think it is like tricky depending on the way that you just like operate in the world. But he's also somebody who is like very connected.
But
to
exactly,
that.
he's not saying I'm not Puerto Rican. He's just saying like
Right.
I'm an undercover other. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna get answers. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sneak into the convention.
Right, I gotta go into the Aryan Superman convention.
and just like report back. And like that's power. That's power. That's bravery.
Yeah.
But this person who's just like,
Latinx XX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
now that's the comic book I would read. That's the comic book I read.
There are some Latinx X-Men.
Are there?
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
See, took too long. They can't be there if it took you that long.
Just let me have my fake
Thank
spiky
you.
movie title. Can I have
No,
that?
he's
Nightcrawler's
gonna literally
German.
write it. He's gonna literally be like, "No, this is not in your head."
Colossus is Russian.
Ugh, gross. Stop.
Storms from
Then
Harlem.
You're counting.
Storms from Harlem.
Storm's from
I thought she was
No.
from Africa.
She was her parents. They
We've seen two different X-Men movies versions of her.
I'm telling you what the canonical Storm is. Aurora Monroe was
my
from
God.
Harlem. Her parents, they were in a plane crash or something, and she ended up as an orphan in Egypt, and then somehow ended up being worshipped by
Takes a baby from Harlem to Egypt.
as a goddess in
Well, let's put a
Africa.
pin in that because something's off with that.
So, do you have any hot takes, Andy?
I think there's a lot. I would say, regardless of the kind of racial implications of things, I am also sick of watching white male protagonists.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Why are you asking?
Because you and I fuck with David Tennant almost every night in some capacity, a David Tennant production. You watch Patriot. Like every time.
I love Patriot.
Loves
Patriot's
Patriot.
great.
He talked to the creator.
I love
He had the
Patriot.
creator of Patriot on this podcast.
Stay tuned to
Yeah.
the Steve Conrad episode of Beginnings coming up in
Hey,
a couple
that rules.
couple weeks. He's great. He was actually
Yeah, I'll
a
be
cool dude.
listening.
Yeah.
That rules.
Uh,
It's just funny to me. Not to cut you off, but it's like I enjoy
Right.
white stuff all the time. I love it. Give me your Nancy Myers.
yeah.
Give me your weird little British cop shows that are set on the
honey.
moors. Give me that.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
I want your
Give me
Nancy
a
Myers, your
quiet
Michael
little-
Myers.
Yep.
I want the Myers. I want a quiet little mumblecore, art piece every now and again. Give me a tone piece every now and again. I'll watch it. I love a tone poem. Yeah, why not? But I like enjoy that along with the other things that I
Right.
enjoy that are like filled with people of color that I know and that sound like me and people that I know and love, and then also people that I don't like.
Right.
I don't know. A friend put me on Davita on Stars. That shit's popping. It's all about beautiful Latinx people, and I'm like, great. Good stuff is good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shouldn't
yeah.
feel worse.
And I mean, I think there's like deeper problems, which I don't know if we really want to go into here, which are the kind of fake diversity that actually happens in Hollywood that, that ends up when there are people making diverse things here, and what a strange adjective to use.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
hate even the fact that like that is the word.
I'm
That's
trying.
an
I'm trying to
adjective.
like
Super-
really
I
watch
know.
my language, which is why it is coming in.
No, I know.
in such a strange
Naomi,
way.
you and I have definitely both been described as diverse.
Fully.
And then we have to go.
No, I'm not diverse. I'm actually one thing, pretty much.
No, I'm pretty much
It's
one
like-
thing. That's odd of
That's
you.
yeah, fully, or like this idea too of like, we need a diverse show,
right?
and then the feeling of like you mean a non-white thing, and then you're just
Yeah.
gonna pick the first one that doesn't scare you too much.
Yes, and then also in the writer's room, you are going to hire only me or Naomi, and everybody else is going to look like the people you were going to hire for whatever other show that you wish you could have made.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
It's like great.
So I think there's like even deeper, more difficult structural issues. But like if this, like Naomi said, if this listener's boyfriend doesn't even want to engage with his own, Racial background in some way. I think it's going to be difficult to like push other things. I mean, look, one of the best shows of the last couple of years, I May Destroy You, is
Pose. Come on,
Pose.
baby.
I mean, Jesus
Pose.
Christ,
It's changed my
Pose.
life. Live for it.
You know, I mean,
But you can't make people. I think not that because you said you're like she can't push her boyfriend, but it's also like don't push him. Period. Whether he was whether he was down or not, it's like watch what you want to watch, and then he could come in a room and not eat or lead a room. You know what I mean? Like you can't make someone like stuff, and I think especially. Whenever something feels like it's like I am making a conscious effort to engage with the other, it's like, well, that doesn't sound very fun.
No, it doesn't sound fun at all. And it's like that was something that really bothered me about like, you know, a few months ago when that moment was happening. And I knew, and I was like, a few months later, all of you are going to be hanging out with still all your same friends, consuming all the same stuff. You're like doing this big public affair of like, I want to buy 17 books that I'm never going to read. You know, it's like, if you don't read, you don't read.
Right.
Don't make
exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
You don't read, first of all. So why are we starting here? Like, you know, if you want to be real about this, like, treat this as you would anything else. Don't make it homework.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
But the homework is to not make it homework.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
And also, there's also like I do like in that moment though where everyone was like trying to like educate every white person was trying to educate themselves, and they like bypassed like James Baldwin, Franz Fanon, right for that white lady who was right. What was it?
Who wrote White Fragility? Written by a white lady who was just like, you'll always fail. And it's like, well, that's not helpful.
I'm like,
but
you guys
also
ever
she like does corporate training. So there
Yeah.
was
Right,
also something
right.
where it's like, this is
not
feeding
helping.
into your business, maybe.
Right.
Maybe you like
100%.
made
also,
this
like-
up for your business.
But also a big part of her that book, though, was her being like, well, you're never going to get it right as a white
Yes.
person.
yes,
Which,
and
to
I'm
me,
not the authority on it also.
well, it's also like, if you tell a white person you're always going to be wrong, they sure as shit don't want to have black people around. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to hire black people. They're not going to create, because it's like, well, I'm going to fuck it up. So instead of fucking it up, I'll just hire all my friends from school. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a lot of times people are just afraid because they think there's a danger in engaging. And it's like, when that is the book everybody's like talking about, that's the problem. It's like, oh, okay, well, this woman, she ain't helping the cause. She ain't helping, you know. The only white woman we can listen to is Jane. Why am I blanking on her name? Did the blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment.
What? Oh, Jane Seymour, the
Dr. Quinn,
Dr. Quinn
medicine
woman.
woman. She is a scientist.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. God, I hate that but she's like, she literally is just like, yeah, you racist. Work it out. You know, she'll be like, work it out. And it's like, thank you so much.
Just looked it up, by the way. Jane Elliott.
Yes,
Jane
blue-eyed,
Elliott.
brown-eyed. But also, you know what I love?
But
you
also I
educated
looked up-
yourself. You
yes.
educated yourself. You said, I don't know. I'm going to look it up.
But I also looked up the Shanshu prophecy. That's Angel's prophecy that he is going to become
God.
that he's going to become a human if he does a certain thing, which he gives
Thank
up,
you.
of course.
Give us the next
He
question.
gives up an
Thank you.
angel. I believe season 5. He gives up the Shanshu.
Give us the
prophecy.
next question, girl.
Okay. This comes to us from Instagram. Towards the end of August, Winnie writes us and says, "Hello, y'all. Love you guys.
Hey,
I always
Winnie.
jump for joy when I see a new episode. Now, I need some advice. I have been with my man for 10 years this year. We'll be 11.
Wow.
Okay? He knows how I am, and I know who he is, but
Multiple T's.
we seem to be running into an issue. I'm a tomboy kind of girl. I love me a good jumpsuit and jeans. I grew up with all boys and never been super into girly clothing. We have met a couple that we love to do things with before the lockdown, of course. And the woman is a girly girl. She wears super cute dresses and tops that would be Taylor Swift's wet dream.
What's going on?
Well, I'm more laid back. I hate to wear dresses when we go out for a drink. For if I get a little tipsy, I don't want to worry about... For if we get a little tipsy, I don't want to worry about my cat coming out of the bag, a.k.a. not flashing the whole bar.
Now I'm back in. I'm worried about my cat coming out of the bag now.
Shocking.
Winnie is fun, and we're on a journey.
Shocking.
We're on a journey.
Okay.
My man has pushed me to wear more girly outfits, and that just isn't me. We have knockout fights over this issue before. We have had knockout fights over this issue before. It's not that I don't feel comfortable in my skin, but more that I'm just not a dress type. I need some advice. On how to come at this issue, for he is convinced it's a self-esteem issue. Oh, which it is never not. Never been into dresses, which it is not. Never been into dresses, and probs never will. Help me come at this issue from a diff POV, please. This really is the only major issue, if you can call it that. Just interested in what you think.
So So
Yeah, we
she's-
need a recap.
Yeah. She's a guy's girl.
No, I
And-
wouldn't even say that. She just
no,
doesn't.
But she's like, I'm not into dresses and girly clothing. But her man is thinking you should
That's a
wear more
self-esteem
girly
issue.
clothes, and you choose not to because
You're ashamed
you
of
have
your
low
body.
self-esteem. How you gonna tell somebody they got low
That's
self-esteem?
wild. That's kind
It's
of
like there's
Wait,
like,
is it also like something that's been brewing in his mind for 10, almost 11 years now?
well, exactly, because this is the question too. I'm like, what is it about the couple? Like she talked about like another couple where where the woman's girly. Was it the boyfriend seeing her that made him start to ask her?
Like,
no.
why aren't you wearing more dresses? I bought you some lipstick, and I got you a dress at Madewell. I was wondering if you could like put them on.
I don't understand.
Does
Sandy,
it-
I don't understand these
Yeah.
questions today.
What? Yeah, I don't know. By
That's
the way,
kind of wild. I wonder if it's also a thing where it's like, maybe if it is the other couple, like, or it's something where he's like, it would be nice to see you in a dress or dress up, even though where I'm like, are you dressing up? Whatever. But
Right.
where if he's like, it would be nice to like see that maybe as things are hitting like a big, year, big benchmark or something.
Year
Being
11.
together.
here's okay. Let me.
I'm just like trying to make this make
I
sense.
know you're
to
trying to
myself.
make it
I-
make sense.
oh, see, it makes a lot of sense to me, right? That there are
go on.
both men and women out there. I won't everyone on the gender spectrum. All right,
Yes,
let's
yes,
just
yes.
say that with a partner, they may want their partner to do something that
Mm-hmm.
they find either attractive or that they. For whatever reason, they want the other person to do X, Y, or Z,
Right.
right? Dress, in this example, the guy wants her to dress a little more girly. She's a tomboy. That's his problem, all right? Fully his. And I
Especially
think
after
that's what,
11 years.
right, and I think
Right,
that's
right,
what,
right.
maybe that's what you guys are getting held up on, is that, like for me, like I prefer, Naomi, when you wear dresses and stuff like that, but also like I don't care one way or the other.
And I ain't giving that to you, baby.
Right, exactly.
You're
Which
getting
is
a
like-
house dress at best and car.
But
Penny.
which is like that's my preference. I don't get to choose how you dress or whatever like that. If you happen to wear a dress someday, great. If not,
Someday.
it doesn't. No. But like one of the,
Yeah.
when we're going out again into the world.
Right.
Right. If you're wearing a dress, great. If you're not wearing a dress, I don't. It actually doesn't fucking matter to me that much.
Right.
Right. And I'm wondering about this dude. Like, what's his deal? Like, to me, it's like that his problem, and he should get over it. If he really has, if it's such a deal breaker, not to get on step on Tina Fey's feet, but if it really is a deal breaker, that I think he should like break up with her, I guess. But if they've been together 11
exactly,
years,
it's 11 years, which is why it's like, and she's saying this is like the only kind of big
Yeah.
issue they have. He just got to shut up about it. I think that's
Yeah.
like, right. Like it's like you just got to shut up about it, and like
he has to either say what it's really about, because that's the other thing, right? It's like you can't say like I have an issue with this because you blah 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 blah. It's like no,
Right.
like what is your actual issue about it?
Right.
Say what it actually is. Like you just want to see me in a dress, or shut up about it.
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Or if he's like so keen on it, she should be like, all right, well, you have to wear one too.
yes, and then they can go out together. Or also like I don't know, I'd wear a dress. It's like I'd be more into like if it's like, oh, I really like your dresses. I'll wear a dress around the house. Then your cat's not out of the bag, and you can just be in the house. It's like you want to see me in this. It's like okay, I'll do some dishes in a dress. It's like you happy now?
I need you to wear a ball gown around the house, Naomi.
Because I'm the same way though, like about like I know like when I'm performing and stuff, it's like I don't want to be in anything like
Yeah.
tight or like low because it makes me feel not comfortable.
I agree.
you
I
know, and
100%
so,
agree.
but at the same time, right? Like it's usually like, oh, well, that's pretty, but it's like, I ain't got
Right.
time for all
I've
that.
like had people also comment on things being like, "You're pretty, like you should feel confident and like wear more like nice stuff." And it's like, no, I know what I feel confident in. Thank you for your opinions.
Like a stranger? Like, after a show? Like a person after a
Mhm.
show?
After a show, or being like, I see that you're really like struggling with your anxiety. And it's like, would you believe that this is actually a persona that I've crafted very carefully and that I think about my jokes actually really hard and like I'm okay. But maybe that also, I think that also is like a youth thing.
That is so funny. You should be more confident.
Wait, but you do have anxiety.
I do have anxiety, but like when I'm like telling jokes on stage about like, I know.
It's not as bad.
Right,
Yeah.
but
It's
it's not manufactured. It's not a whole manufactured
No,
persona.
no. When I go, I'm actually pretty neurotypical. I feel like it's really funny to me whenever anybody has, and me doing this bit, my body's getting hot, right? No, I very much have anxiety.
Do you take anything, or is it just more like a little internal low buzz of anxiety?
I am working with my therapist to take, because we've been talking for a really long time, and I keep going, please, please. And so I think she most recently was like, so I think actually now would be a good time. And I said, thank you.
Yeah.
She's like, because in the beginning, I've had therapists before too, where I've brought it up where I've been like, I want to take medication, and they go, if I let you take medication, anybody's gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like the fear about it, which I think means I've had pretty good
therapists, right?
Yeah.
They're like, let's talk first and see exactly what it's about.
And then they keep talking to me, and they go, oh no, oh my god, you need.
They're just like throwing handfuls of Lexapro at you.
Get out, go, leave. Most recently also she was like, have you ever been tested for ADD? And I went, picks at my jeans. No, why?
Oh, that's good.
Wait, so Aya, have you ever? I know you're in your first serious relationship now, but like, have you ever been, or has a partner ever had a preference, like voiced a preference? They're like, I want to see you wear more clogs, whatever. I don't know what it.
Whoa, Angie, have I talked to you about this before? Sorry, the clogs thing is really.
I didn't mean to blow up your spot.
I don't think anybody has voiced anything specifically. There might have been like cues that like I'd taken, like if I was like interested in a guy and then he was like, into more like girly, like seemed like into more, or found something attractive or pointed something out, then like 2 days later I would dress exactly like that. But I don't think like specifically, no.
Yeah, exactly. They need to shut up about it. It's like, again, especially if they had just been dating 6 months, I would be like, okay, drop this person. Because
drop this drip.
But after 11 years, it's like, obviously there are good things in this person, you like them. But this is like an issue they got to let go. And I think their inability to let it go.
I think like naturally there are things though that like you'll point out where like, oh, you shaved, or you got your hair cut, or you did your hair a certain way. Oh, that looks nice or whatever. And then you like are like, cool, put that in my little pocket. Feels good.
Well,
Right.
actually,
I was literally about to say that.
I always like when
God
Andy
damn
like
it.
I love when Andy has some stubble, because to me he has the face of an angel.
Stubble
a little baby boy.
Stubble and glasses. She likes me in glasses.
He won't wear his glasses. I love when he's giving me programmer up all night energy.
Love that.
And he won't. And he like
It hurts the bridge of my nose. My glasses hurt the bridge of my nose.
And then he says his little beard itches. Delicate. And I'm always like, so whenever he's like, okay, I'm shaving, and I go, no! Like, isn't that the most annoying thing ever?
No, I know you have a preference, and I know, like, I will grow my beard out an extra day or two before shaving.
Thank you
because
so
I
much.
know
That's nice.
that you like that.
That's
But
love.
I'm never going to. I hate having a beard, so it's never going to get past that point unless like.
I know.
But then that makes it kind of like a treat.
Yeah.
That's true. It's a real beard treat. But it was, that was like definitely, I feel like, that was my thing where I'm always like you got, well, at least, because again, you and I are in year 11, especially early days, like, Andy looks young now, but he sure as shit looked young 10 years ago. And I would always joke, I'm like, Andy, people think I'm your goddamn babysitter. We gonna have to just have that stubble on strong.
To be fair, that's when we would do our little carriage games. So.
Oh my.
You're learning about carriage games.
I'm learning.
Yes, we've got carriage kink. Don't shame us.
Carriage
hate the praise.
It's exactly disgusting, sick.
But maybe okay. So I'll throw this out there. This is his deal, but like when you're in a long-term relationship, you do like throw your partner a bone every once in a while. I don't mean that in
No, I know that's so funny.
in the way that you might take it. But like you do, like, oh, you like me in dresses? I'll throw in a dress every once in a while.
Yes,
like you could,
right.
like it's not unless it's something that's real, like you're like that's like really so such an anathema to your identity.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't do something like that, right?
Right.
But like if it's like if it really doesn't matter to you, if like you could take it or leave it. Then like throwing on a dress maybe like every half a year or something. If
What
you're
about
okay with
here's
it.
the thing. First of all, also when we say dress, right? You can give me knee length. Okay,
Yeah.
something that covers you.
Yeah, real
with,
1910 number.
with flats, so you don't
Jesus.
have to feel like you're teetering around.
Yeah.
And
There's
or also
cute
like a jumper.
dress sneaker situation, a jumper, a jumpsuit, or something.
A short
mess around with the
jumpsuit, right? A
sleeves.
romper.
Yeah, a romper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like if you
Make
so
it your own.
make it your own, right? Like find your version of it that lets them see a little kneecap, but also you ain't worried about
If
you
you're
know.
Miss Shorts and cargo, find a nice little knee-length cargo situation. That was,
Yes.
I mean, I like grew up Pentecostal and I identified very much as a tomboy, and so it was like weird to be like, oh no, like, huh? Like I know that I want to be actually borrowing all my like older cousins' clothes. Like I like when they give me flannel hand-me-downs and stuff. So I would just like pair those with a little camo skirt or a little cargo skirt situation. I was making it work. I was trying to make it work. But yeah, I mean, I think you can like make it your own and do it if it unless it obviously is like offensive or feels like a thing that's like hurtful.
Yeah.
Do it for a
Right.
birthday.
Exactly. A birthday. First night of Hanukkah. A Kwanzaa moment.
Yes.
Yom Kippur.
A Day of Atonement. Yes, bitch. Last question.
Oh no, I think we should. That's. You want to keep going?
Oh, right. Io has to go.
I can do one more.
All right, let's do a third one then. This one comes to us. This is another voicemail.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna share my
If it's a bad question, then we'll just stop in the middle.
Hi, Naomi and Andy. I wanted to know if you could help me. My feet stink so bad. My feet stink. Cut it out.
Well, have you tried Epsom salts bath for them feet? All right, here we go.
Okay, hi. Okay, maybe I'll forego my name because this is a bit of a scandalous story. But just for reference, I'm a gay Latinx person living in Toronto, Canada. Anyway, so this is kind of a chaotic, messy story, but basically I'm quarantining at my parents, and I haven't had a gentleman caller in quite some time because of that. So I was talking to this guy, and we had both been socially distancing and isolating, and we both had negative test results, and he was like, do you want to maybe meet up? And I said, yes. And so I thought I had, a free house, and I was right for the most part. And so he came over, we were kind of hooking up, and then my parents came home. So my parents came home, and basically I'm 24, I owned it. I was just like, you know what, this is my friend, he's just leaving, bye, and he left. And my parents were chill, and they were like, who was that? And I couldn't just tell them that he was a stranger who I essentially met on a fuck app. So I basically lied and told them that, yeah, like, I know him romantically. Now they're asking questions about him and about when he will maybe make an appearance at like a dinner There's something, they're asking me questions about his past, questions that I do not know how to answer because I don't know him. And I mentioned I'm Latinx before. My mother is a Latin American woman. The Catholicism runs deep, and it just can't. I don't know if being honest might be the best route here, but maybe it is, just because I can't answer. I can't lie anymore. Sorry, I feel like recounting this story. I'm like, this is so messy. I'm gonna get canceled. But I didn't give my name. Anyway, so that's my story. Please send help. I know that hooking up during a pandemic is really stupid, and I just want everybody to know that I know that. And that I love the podcast.
I'm so glad we got to this question.
Imagine if we didn't play this.
Oh my God, this is hilarious. And
Wow.
also a true nightmare to be hooking up with someone and your parents arrive.
First of
Something
all-
about the storytelling of it, with each second, there was just more unraveling. What a gift.
That's why I love the voicemails. We can really hear where you're at emotionally.
Let me say this. First of all, I think hooking up during a pandemic, if you are both social distancing and getting tested regularly,
Yeah.
probably like relatively safe. Not perfectly safe, obviously.
Yeah.
If you're taking certain precautions. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not as paranoid as I was 6 months ago.
Whereas I say, don't you bring a strange saliva into my house.
Oh, I wouldn't do
I
it.
want nothing to do with
I
it.
wouldn't do it, Naomi, if you were like, hey, Andy, go hook up with someone.
Yeah, that's what I would say to you. Go hook up with someone.
That's
and
exactly
then
the way we talk
Just to
in
pick up
this
some new tricks.
Household.
Go hook
I'm
up
sick
with
of the way you kiss. Find out, get a new style.
But, like, I think it's okay. So, because he's saying his mom, Catholic religious woman, Io, you can relate to a little religiosity.
Huh.
Do you, what is your conversation like with your parents around dudes and any of that stuff?
I mean, around anything. Really, truly, really. Yeah. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm just and then somehow I go back in time. I flash back. I mean, by all accounts and purposes, I'm like a virgin to my mother. I don't think that my dad is like, don't tell me, and I won't
Right.
imagine. Show up with the baby, and then we could get to talking. But yeah, I mean, I'm a virgin to my mother's eyes. Like, she once was like, "Are you hanky panky?" And I was like, no.
She said hanky
She said hanky
panky.
panky, and I said no.
Are you making whoopee?
Never made anything in my life. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tricky. I do think there is a version of like what they don't know what hurt. The issue was that he lied and said there was a relationship. That's where it got into rom-com territory.
Oh, 100%. When he's like, I can't lie anymore. In my mind, I'm like, oh, this has been going on for a long time. And his parents keep asking questions.
About this guy.
Like,
Yes.
when's Brandon going to come over? And when is he going to bring his dog? You've heard so much about his dog at this point.
You're talking about Brandon's dog. I do think it would be funny. I mean, like, obviously, there's app etiquette. It would be funny, I think, to see him again and tell him about all this stuff that's going on. But whatever that happens, I think you have to maybe pull up Brendan and I just decided to be friends.
Exactly. Or you have to say, or be like, Brandon got COVID and he's no longer with us. Like, they'll never know. Like, they'll never know.
No, if you do that, then they're going to be like, well, we have to go to the funeral.
No, he
And then you
already,
have to
it's
make
already
it
done.
And there's social distance funeral, and you
Yeah,
can't
you're not
go.
doing funerals, right? There are no
Well, they're
funerals
like, well,
now.
bring up the Zoom. We really want to go. If this is your boyfriend,
His family is
we wanna
atheists,
we
and
wanna
they
support
did,
you.
and they did a cremation.
oh, well, then we should at least talk to his parents.
They died of COVID. as
Oh
well.
my God! Well, can we go to that funeral?
We should send them.
I'm gay. Yeah,
Yeah, we knew that. We knew that.
Oh, okay. Well,
I hook up on the apps, okay? I don't know Brandon's last name. I done made it up.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There has to be. I mean, I know we're joking.
No, that
but
was
there
a
has
good walkthrough because you can see it has its limits.
Right. There has to be a lie. There has to be a lie that just gets you out of that ends.
You
the
have to
whole,
be done with
that
it.
ends
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
conversation. Unless you want to just like be honest with your parents, which it doesn't seem like that. Is
Yeah,
the-
like, and also I think regardless of, I don't
Also,
know.
I wouldn't. By the way, I wouldn't be honest with
Well,
my,
exactly. I'm like, I don't
My
think any
parents and
parent.
my parents and I are like you. We have a strict. There's a brick wall.
Yeah.
There's a brick house that sits between
Yeah.
our conversation.
Brick.
Ow.
And I know they've always had to have sex at some point, and they probably know that I have had it, and we're never gonna talk about it ever. Ever.
Yeah. We're a hanky panky household. We're a howdy doody household.
Yes.
We-
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
people's relationships with their parents and sex are different, and I don't think that necessarily is anything to be shamed. Like, and if
Yeah.
I don't know, as long as your parents like, no, I don't know. You know, you got to do what's right for
Right.
you in the moment. If also like you're staying at their house during COVID,
Exactly.
You know, like
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can't.
there are, I think, restrictions to like how much truth can be unveiled.
Exactly. When you're
in
stuck
one
there.
moment. Yeah,
You
and that
can't.
doesn't make you like canceled or like ashamed or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
kind of being
Yeah.
pragmatic in a weird way.
Because even the fact that they just saw somebody come by and they still asking you questions, it's like, God damn it, they get in too deep. You can't get into it
Right.
with them because they nosy. So it's like you can't even
Right.
say anything. I mean, and I think most parents would be worried about their kid on an app, period, like on a hookup app. You know what I mean? Regardless of their kid's gender identity, sexual identity,
Yeah.
like orientation, they would
regardless
be
of
like,
the app, regardless
exactly.
of the app.
They're like, what? You met them on the internet? You know, it's like they'd be very nervous anyway. So it's like, don't bring that in because it's just gonna make them nervous. Even though you're like, I'm grown, I know how to do this, you know, whatever. So I think it's just like, next time, first of all, you either come up with a system, set an alarm. Be like, we get to hook up for 22 minutes and you got to go
You gotta
because
go.
I don't know how long they're going to be at Kroger. I don't know how long they're going to be at Kroger.
'Cause I don't think the grocery list was long today.
Exactly. So you got to set an alarm.
They
and
got
then
all their beans last week.
they got all the beans. But then also you have to, you just have to tell your parents like, oh, he and I aren't talking. You know, I think it's over, and just be like done with it, and just be like, and then also too, if they keep asking like, I don't want to talk about it. You can say I don't want to talk about it, and you don't have to do it in like a petulant way or in a sketchy way. But Lord knows if they think you're in a relationship, and then you say we broke up, and then you don't want to talk about it, they'll just think you're sad.
Yeah. Which
What if
actually
they-
might be a good thing because then they'll give you stuff.
So yes, we're
Actually,
saying
that
manipulate your
over.
parents.
Yeah, manipulate.
Yeah, but what if then they try to like get them back together? They like
They can't do that. No one knows Brandon's last name or his phone number.
or his first name. I made up Brandon.
Well, I know, but we've decided Brandon is
Yeah,
his
we
name.
just really, Brandon sounded right.
we ran with it.
Oh God, that's so annoying when a parent comes home. One time I had a gentleman caller, and then like he was leaving early in the morning, but then my mom was coming out of her room to go to the bathroom.
Oh no.
Yes. And it was bad. And it was like, okay, he left. And I was like, this is so-and-so, a friend.
Brandon.
He slept in the other room because there was another room. There was another room.
No.
Terrible. And then my mom later, she was like, if you want to be a hoe, you can do what you want to do, but not in my house.
Oh.
And so it was like one of those where it was like, and I was like, okay, never again. Never again.
When I was hooking up with said girlfriend who left me for the pavement guy.
Canonically.
In high school, we'd go in my room and shut the door, and when my dad, I guess they didn't know we were like smooching, and my dad would like come in for something, but it was locked. He's like, "Hey, why is this locked?" I'm like, "Hold on, I'm playing guitar. I gotta put my guitar away. Hold on."
Oh my
And
God.
then
Having children is so embarrassing.
It's terrible.
Oh my
hold on,
God.
putting my guitar away.
I had to.
I gotta
The guitar.
I
No
gotta
one's
turn the
heard.
amp off.
No one's heard the guitar being played.
No, there's no
And-
guitar.
there's no need
You don't have a guitar.
There's like no need for the door to be locked for you to be playing guitar.
Right.
And you have to put it away in order to open the door. I believe your parents knew what was happening.
I actually don't think they did, or at least I don't think my mom did, because years later at dinner, she's like, "I wondered what you guys were doing up there with the door locked," and then just silence as it like dawned on her.
Years later. But also, that's amazing to me. My mother would have never let me have my door closed.
Oh yeah, we were an
That's-
open
yeah.
door. It's my house.
No
it's my
way.
doors.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Io,
yeah.
how'd you play your guitar?
Well, I didn't really, but I really didn't. I had and the guitar was weeping. I was weeping. and so was the
Not
guitar.
until she got to New York City, baby. Did she start playing that
And I
guitar?
was twanging away.
Oh my God, I think that's the end of our episode.
This is a real delight.
I just want to end it on twanging away.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us.
Aya, thanks for talking to
Yeah, it was a real delight.
us. You know, and I just wish you continued success. And wishing you continued thriving, booking, just international travel and roles.
my Lord.
I just,
Io,
great.
when you become the lead, think of Naomi as your black best friend.
No, of course, naturally.
Her, what could I play? I couldn't play her mom. I have the,
Oh,
I
God,
have
no.
the energy, but
How
not
old
the.
do you think you are?
Yeah, you don't want to.
I think
I
I think I'm 62, but I don't think I
I mean-
actually am.
If you don't want to be the best black friend, you can still maybe my parents died and my young aunt took care of me,
Okay, yes, I'm into young auntie energy.
and you could be like really young aunt, and then they could Photoshop pictures of like you at 16 and me
Yes.
as a
As an embryo.
As a baby, yeah.
yeah. Me as a youth, and then we
Yeah,
could.
yeah,
and then,
yeah.
and
yeah.
then
I'm
that's how
not
we could make that
16 years older than you. I just want the
No.
record to show that I'm not.
I didn't say that's why I didn't say
I-
baby. Andy jumped in with baby.
Okay.
I said
okay.
embryo.
I said youth. I said youth. I said youth.
Holding up a picture of the blastula.
Io, you're a baby angel. You're an angel baby. And thank you so much for doing the pod, honey.
Yeah.
Having me.
Have fun.
Thank
All right.
you.
We'll see you guys next time.
Not leave my room. Bye.
Bye!